Peace. What's up, everybody? Sebastien, Seb is Hip Hop from RapRehab.com here with the woman of the hour, of the month, of the year, none other than Rapsody. Peace, Rapsody. Peace.
What's up, bro?
I'm good. It's an honor. You know what's dope about doing this is that, I get to build and interview people that I actually listen to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody is saying, hey, you got to go and interview this person or that person. Here's the album, review it, get familiar with it. No, this is, nobody's asking me to do anything. This is me, building with the people that I look up to, people that I admire. So this is dope for me. This is real dope.
Man, it's dope for me too, because all your articles you send me, I read every one of them, and I'm a fan of you.
Well, I appreciate that.
When you reached out, I was like, oh yeah, that's nothing.
Word up, that's dope. We're good on the connection. You can hear everything well. You can see everything well.
Yeah, everything's good. Like every now and again, I'll get a little static, but it's good.
Okay. That's technology for you. So.
Right.
So, all right, so let's talk about the EP, because that's what we're here to really talk about, Beauty and the Beast. So from my perspective, I mean, the album is blowing up. I mean, people are talking about it, and I'm checking it out on Twitter, Facebook, all over the place. It's like magic. So what's the ride been like for you so far?
For the ride for Beauty and the Beast, man.
Yeah.
It's been really good. Like, me and Knife were talking, and out of all the projects I've done, like on this one, this is where we had the most fun and we felt the most free. Like,
right.
I'm not thinking about what I gotta prove. I'm not thinking about, I gotta make this end of year list. Like, on this one, it's just like, we don't really care no more. We got Indy 500. Like, let's just do what we do. And, the people we connect with and the ones we reach, that's what it is. But we're not going to go out of our way to make believers out of somebody, that they just might not be for us, So
no
the people that get it, you cater to them and kind of let it move on its own. So, like, it's like you say, like, it's been real magical, man, just to watch everything unfold and, just to see it grow legs on its own. Like,
right.
We don't have no publicists. We're our own PR team. It's really all about the music. So, man, it's good. Like, it's good.
And that's the dope thing, because I can really. Oh, we just got cut off. You still with us? All right, cool.
Yeah, I had a little tech.
All right. All good. So, it's been real interesting. For me as a fan and as a hip hop head, just to check out your trajectory, from when you first came out to where you are right now. How was it? Like you said, recording this EP or working on it was kind of stress free, or just all about the creative process, and it really reflects in the album. I mean, from the first track to the last track, it's like a breath of fresh air. You're really taking the listener in and really, giving them that pure hip hop, and it's from the soul. That's what I love about your music. It's not only is it lyrical and the beats bang, but there's so much personality and so much heart and so much spirit in it. You know what I mean? That's what really impacts me as a fan. Now, to that point, I've read, and I know you've read this too, a lot of cats who'll say, I'm not really feeling female MCs, but something about Rapsody, right? Something about Rapsody, I'm feeling her. So, I'm not with the whole female MCs, male MCs, all that nonsense. If you're an MC and you're dope, that's it,
Right.
But how do you respond to cats who say stuff like that? I'm not feeling female MCs, but Rapsody's dope. Like, what do you think, what do you think it is about you that makes even the non-believers believe?
Well, I think for one, like anybody that says like I don't get with female MCs, like they haven't researched enough. They're stuck on this stigma that females can't rap.
Yeah.
Females only rap about a certain subject. I can't like I see all the time, like I can't relate to females, which I don't think is true. Like, you know, I don't know what's different about me, but you know, I could say when we did it, we always said it's not about being a female MC. Like, you know, I don't even like the term
Yeah,
at all.
I don't like it
So,
either. Yeah.
you know, it's right. Like we're 7 projects in, and we just had to, you know, just keep hammering and hammering and hammering, because all throughout, like from Return to B Girl, like until recently, She Got Game Now.
Right.
That's all we used to get, like all females can't rap, or people wouldn't even check it out. Like I'll get tweets, and Ninth will get tweets, like, you know, I've been following Ninth all this time. Let me finally listen to Rapsody, and this is
Right.
Project 7. Like,
Right,
you know,
right.
like I had to go through that. But, you know, I just think just continuing and not giving up and letting the music speak for itself. Like people always told me, people can't ignore great music
That's
for
right.
so long.
Yeah.
Like you can try, but you know, you see name run across, you see Absol tweet, you see Pharaoh Monch say something, like after a while it's like, well, let me check it out. What am I missing out on? And then when you open yourself up to listen, like you get to see, like, oh, I do like this. So, you know, I just think that's what it is. Like, and it's sad that people say that. It should be, I don't like whack rappers, or,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be, you know, I don't like female rappers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, I think that's just what it is. Like, we never boxed ourselves in, like, at all. And we knew the road was going to be really hard. So, you know, we just prepared ourselves for the long, you know, the good fight, the long, good marathon fight.
Yeah.
I was telling Ninth, I was like, yo, they're really making me work for this. Like, I really got to work for this. Because if I was a dude, like, I don't think it would have taken me 7 projects,
Right, right.
to get this far. You know what I mean? But this is part of the business. Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy how the climate has changed. Like, you and me, like, we know the era of, you know, MC like Queen Latifah.
Of course.
Like, me and Knife were talking about it when in Queen Latifah's crew, which was she had a lot of guys in her crew.
Mm-hmm.
They picked her to go first. They didn't pick a guy to go first. It's like, no, Queen got it. Queen's going first.
Yeah.
You know, you got Missy, you got Lauren, you had Aaron. It's just crazy, like, what has happened from, like, early 2000s to now, where now it's like females can't rap. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we've been doing this. So
it's
it's really crazy, man.
You know, as a hip hop educator, you know, when I'm with my students, you know, introducing them to new MCs, you know, I'll hear some of my students, and you know, we're talking about 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, right? And they'll say something like, "Oh man, I didn't know girls could rap." Just flat out, I didn't know girls could rap. You know, so forget the, you know, the I didn't think there was anybody else besides Nicki comments, because I've got plenty of that as well, you know. But just the whole concept, girls can't rap. I even had students tell me, I didn't know girls could use big words. Yo,
what?
Word, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's something different right there. That's across hip hop. That is, like, that goes back to the old thinking, like, women belong in the kitchen making babies.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we're good. Like, that is like, I can kind of deal with, especially the younger ones. Like, you know, I don't necessarily know if nobody's really put them on to the history.
Right.
To a certain degree, you know, but yeah, like, nah.
That's crazy, right? Just keep that in mind next time you're writing your next rhyme. Right? Yeah.
Words.
What, in terms of, you know, the support, the love that you've been getting from, you know, from a lot of your peers, who would you say has really surprised you? You know, somebody who you did not expect would just really say, like, yo, Rapsody is just too ill.
Wow. See, that's a good question. I've never been asked that question. The surprise?
Yeah.
Probably. See, I'm so bad with names, and I hate that. But there's a artist who I think she used to be, if she's not still on, I don't watch the show, Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
But she tweeted me, you know, about, you know, how she was so into the music, and you know, she just fan, and that was a real shock to me, you know, having somebody on Love and Hip Hop and just knowing kind of what that show tailors to, like,
Right,
to be
right.
like, yo, I'm a fan of yours. That was like, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the biggest one, like, but yeah, like early on, like I had to like, oh my God, wow. But now, like, you know, it's just more humbling. Like, I'm not surprised anymore so much because Ninth has he's drilled in me. Like, you never know who's listening to music. So, you know, think that everybody's listening, think that everybody's watching.
Right,
So,
right,
you know,
right,
it's
right,
cool.
right.
I had a short Twitter convo with Missy Elliott not too long ago.
Word, I saw that.
You know,
I saw that.
that felt good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, like, yo,
No doubt.
dude, like Missy Elliott, like I have so much love and respect for her, and
Word,
you know, it's crazy. Like I look at her Twitter bio, and it's not verbatim, but it's something to the effect of, like, the one dream I have is to see all female artists together on 106 and Park.
Oh, wow.
Like, and to see that, like, that, like, I wouldn't think that's a hard thing to do, but it's crazy that it is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because you never hear anybody say, my dream is to have a bunch of guys on 106 and Park, right?
No, right. Like, all female artists together. So, man, yeah, that's probably crazy.
Word. What, you got any favorite joints off the EP? Or like one favorite joint if you like really have to narrow it down? I know that's a hard question because they're all your babies, but if you had to pick one or a couple.
You know, every day, like, the beautiful thing I like about it is, you know, it's so mixed up with emotions and different feelings. So there's something for every, you know, for a lot of different days, no matter how you feel.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about it. Today, I'm going to say my favorites are, you know, Drama's still one of my favorites because, you know, it's probably the most different of all sounds that I've tried.
No doubt.
You know, I had a lot of fun with that one. Let me think. I like Forgive Me a lot. Eric G, man, he's a monster. Feel It and Godzilla, like, I think those are my top ones today. So
okay.
They only 10 tracks. That's about half the
process. Yeah.
But, you know.
Word. Yeah, Feel It is a monster. I mean, when I first listened to the EP, that first joint, I mean, in terms of sequencing, that was perfect. That's a hell of an opener, you know?
Man, before, like, Guru was mixing it, we were going over and over, like, yo, what's the first track? Like, we don't have, like, an official intro. Like, yo, what's the first track be? And there's one track that didn't make it that me and Ninth really wanted to make it. It's called Spread Love.
Okay.
So it didn't make it. So, you know, I was going over ahead and I was like, man, let's just do Feel It. Like, forget it. So.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to set it off for sure. I'll say, you know, it's kind of like you because I've been listening to the album every day, you know, and I alternate too. But I would say if I had to like pick something that hit me, you know, on a different level, I guess it would have to be The Man. That track, and you know, maybe because I'm a dad too, right? You know, so as a parent, you know, you listen to something different, and it really impacts you in a deep way. You know, lyrically, I mean, the whole theme of the song is really impactful. And at the end, with the kids talking, you know, let me just say that when I was driving and listening to the song, I had to, you know, it was that heavy. But what prompted you to not just write the song? Because I mean, I think looking at the times that we're living in right now, you know, it's obvious, you know, but to specifically add those kids at the end of the song, what prompted you to do that?
Well, you know, as of late, especially with everything that's been going on from Mike Brown, John Crawford, like all of these things going on, I've been on Facebook and, you know, I have a lot of conversations. Like I normally don't, interact with fans like that, or, you know, just spark conversations of that
Right.
nature on Facebook. But I felt like it to happen, this conversation needs to happen, because there's a disconnect between Black America and white America, and understanding, you know, racism and how it is. So, you know, I would be online and, you know, I post an article and we, you know, have a debate, or I'd read, you know, everybody having themselves, and things I saw is like, you know, a lot of white people who aren't racist,
Right.
but they don't understand. You know, it'd be the comments where, why does it always have to be about race? Or, you know, can't we just all get along? Or I don't see color. And it's like, that's not true. Like, in order to fix racism, we have to acknowledge that it exists. You know what I'm saying? And we're not asking you to feel guilty about it, but you can't ignore it and act like it doesn't exist and we're all the same color. Like, no, I see you as white, you see me as black. Like, you know, that's what it is. And even too, like, people don't understand the difference in how we have to raise our kids. And, you know, what strikes me, hit me home so much, you know, thinking about Mike Brown or whatever, you know, I have a nephew, and who's talking, and he's only 7 years old.
Yeah.
And you know, it troubles me that I know his dad will have to have that conversation with him.
Of course.
And you look like they're so innocent, they should never have to, you know, have that talk with them. And they should never, you want to protect your kids. You don't ever want them to feel that way. And that's another difference between raising a black child versus raising a white child. Like, there's just some things we have to prepare our children for that exist in this world. And, you know, that's why I wanted to add them, so people could really get the feeling and really understand, like, this is the difference. Like, and I wanted them to hear a child's voice, you know, because just to bring it all in and connect it. Like, you hear his innocence, and, you know, this is what goes on. This is what we take from our kids. They're innocent when we're talking about issues like this, and knowing that one day he's going to have to face that. So that was my whole purpose of putting them at the end. Like,
that was really impactful, you know, and it kind of made me think about, you know, because of you know, Michael Brown and what's been going on, you know, it's just not in Ferguson, but all over the place, really, how a lot of white America has been hearing more and more about the talk. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are like, you know, I didn't know there was a talk. You know, they're just being exposed to the reality of it. You know, so I think kind of putting a voice, you know, to that reality, you know, through your song or through the ending of that song, I mean, it's hella powerful. Also throughout the album, you know, I hear a lot of, you know, references to being a role model, especially, you know, for young black girls. You know, I know you said Ruby's gone and Ruby Dee's gone, Maya Angelou's gone. So, you know, you make a lot of references like that. Yet a lot of people will say that artists shouldn't be role models. It's not up to an artist to be a role model. You already know what I think about that, because I write about it extensively, you know. But what do you tell people who say artists shouldn't be role models? It's not their job.
I mean, ultimately, everybody has a choice to do what they're going to do. Like, you know, but I think when you're put in a position and you have that much power and that influence over somebody, it is somewhat your job to be a role model to a certain degree. You know, you might not get to the full extent or go as far as some other people, but you do have to acknowledge that everything you do and you say, there's somebody that you're influencing. Somebody looks up to you. Somebody is taking all of that in, and you can't ignore that. Like, you have to stay awoke and be aware of your impact on this world. So at the very least you can do is at least balance yourself out. Like, you know, I just think, you know, when you have that much power, that's what comes along with it. Like, you can't ignore it. I am a role model, no matter what. If you want to be, like, that's what comes along with it. It's the same as, you know, I want to be a famous famous person, what comes along with that is paparazzi. Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
comes along with this. You can't walk out and not have paparazzi in your face every day, and you can't not be at that level and not be a role model. Like,
Right.
you have to be. And I just wish people would take on the responsibility and, you know, and do right by it. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. So, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my feelings on it.
Yes. There's a particular artist who you probably know who I'm talking about. I heard Ninth talk about him on the Combat Jack show as well. Who recently publicly said you're smiling, so I think you might know who I'm talking about. It's young somebody who recently said that in regards to Ferguson and Michael Brown, like we just iced out and making money and having fun. Leave all that talk to the laws and the critics. So I showed that video to my students, and they were shocked, and when I say shocked, I mean, I'm looking at their facial expression and they're like, that kind of response, which to me is great because I need my students.
Right.
I need the 14, the 15, the 16, the 17-year-olds to be outraged at that kind of behavior,
Right.
And, at the end of the exchange, when he's asked, do you believe artists should be role models and, kind of be held accountable? He said flat out, no. So when do you think in the I know I had to shake my head many times when I first saw the video, but it's hopeful that my students were just as outraged. That's hopeful. That's a good sign. It means that everybody isn't just completely oblivious to what's going on. But when do you think things started to transition, from accountability and consciousness or just having a vision as an artist to what we seem to get with a lot of artists today? What was there like a particular point in the history of hip hop or in the development of hip hop that you can pinpoint to?
I have my theories. I think it all happened at the same time, whether we're talking about that or we're talking about what happened to female roles in hip hop. Like, I want to say it was kind of like late 90s, early 2000s where, kind of like the puffy dancing in the shiny suit type era, where people realize, this is really a $1 billion industry and we can really capitalize and make money off of. This is how we're going to do it. Like, we're going to get these artists, they're going to make these ABC catchy songs that don't have a message in it. We're going to change radio to playlist, I feel like at a certain point there is an agenda pushed.
Yeah.
And, they know the ones to get to help push that agenda. So they easily push that to the forefront. And I feel like, all of that is kind of like where it began to happen, TV change, radio change, movies change. Like, we don't get Different World. We don't have Cosby Show now. We've got Love and Hip Hop. We have Bad Love. We have, and I think all of that affects accountability. And, it's just putting the wrong ones in the position to be the forefront and the face of hip hop and to be these role models, because, it's easy and they know the ones that, I hate to say are not smart enough or not aware enough to know, or just, just really lost in what's going on or caught up. But, that's my theory on it, the whole thing. Oh man. And, just playing with people's perception that, TV and radio is that's the deciding factor. This is telling me what's hot, what I need to be in tune to. I don't have a choice. I can't change. And if you push it over and over on somebody, whether they like it or not, it becomes so programmed in their mind, they just fall into place. Like, I was telling somebody the other day, like, I used to work at Foot Action, and we have these DVDs that run on loop every hour. There would be songs that I could not take. But
Right.
when I got in my car, like, I would catch myself pinging the hook, and it's like, why am I saying that? Well, if I've listened to it so much, like, I program myself to, it's just like,
Right.
it's stuck in my head. And like, me and my sister were having a debate. We were talking about BET, and she says, I don't understand why BET doesn't push, more positive television, like we used
Right.
to have Teen Summit
Yeah.
or, just all these other shows. Like, and I was telling her, well, we really can't only blame BET. Like, it can't all be about BET because BET works off of views. And if we continue to watch it and we don't turn off the television, then that's what we're going to continue to get. Like, I was like, I understand your argument, but it's on us too as consumers to tell them, no, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
And, we had a debate because she said, her whole argument was, well, if this all that's on TV, I don't like it, but I gotta watch something, like, so I'm gonna watch it. And I was like, well, that's the problem. Like, like, it can't be that, you have to turn off the TV or watch something else. And when they do give you something positive, you have to support it, because if you don't, then it goes away. So, thing we're in, and, we got a little debate about it because I don't think she fully understood it.
Right.
What I was
Right.
trying to say, but that just goes back into, like, we just fall victim to it, and we don't understand the power that we have to make change.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think once people become media literate, that they understand, how the game is played, what happens behind the industry, the scenes, who's pulling the strings, and how manipulative it is. I think once you get people pissed off and outraged enough, to realize that they've been played, that they're pawns on this chess set. Once they realize that, I think the outrage becomes an incentive and a motivation to refuse to be taken advantage of. You know what I mean? But it's a process. It's a process. And, and we need artists like you to put out this kind of information and enlighten people and empower people and make them realize, like, there's an alternative. You don't have to be that pawn on this wicked chess set. So, now in regards to the industry, because you've been in the game for a while now, what would you say is, what can you say about the industry, in your experience, that would, like, really shock us, that would surprise us, things that you've seen that really prove that, rule, 4080 is real. You know what I mean? What's anything that you can share? I'm not trying to get you to put anybody else out there, but we all know that it's a crazy industry.
Wow.
Don't put anybody on blast, though.
Right. Like, it's like this. I haven't necessarily always seen it.
Okay.
Firsthand, but I've been around, I've been around Pharaoh, and I've been around enough people that have been in the game longer than I have, and I've heard some stories. Some stories. So.
What's been the most life-changing, country that you visited, or city?
South Africa.
Yeah, I figured that, but I didn't want to assume, but I figured that's what it was.
Right, like, man, like, everything is just so pure, and it's natural down there. The first time I went was 2012. It was right before the idea Beautiful.
Right.
And at the time, like, that was my first travels outside the United States.
Okay.
So I would do shows, across the country or whatever, and they'd be 300, they'd be maybe less sometimes, and I got there and it's 900 people, and they're kind of grabbing your ankles and they're reciting your lyrics, and I'm like mind blown. Like, I flew 16 hours across, the Atlantic all the way to South Africa. And I get love that I can't even get in my home state,
Yeah.
and that was really, really eye-opening to me, just how much culture still matters there and family still matters. And, so South Africa by far, like, just the community and how much they hold culture dear, like life changing. Like it made me know, like, yo, you don't need TV, you don't need radio. You have this right here. Like, you have the whole, so you don't have to live by the standards of, American business when it comes to music. Like,
of course,
do your own thing, because your music, Nike always says, like, hip hop is bigger than, two knobs and a screen. Like, it's way bigger than that.
Yeah.
And, that put a lot of perspective for me. Like, you're right. It is way bigger than, two knobs and, a remote control or whatever.
Right.
That just got path where, just make great music and everything else will kind of take care of itself.
Yeah, it's crazy how out of the country there's a different type of appreciation for music, whether it's hip hop or jazz or blues or R&B. The music that doesn't get any love here, or very little love, is still vibrant and alive and still has a huge following everywhere else but in the birthplace. So
this is amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And I'm guessing the industry might have something to do with that.
Oh, yes, right on. You're getting somewhere.
So, let me ask you this: what would your fans be surprised to learn about you? Something that would make them say, "What?
Oh.
Rapsody? She does this? She likes that? She what?"
Wow, let me think. I'm trying to think, like, what I haven't put in my music.
Right.
People know I like sports.
I know Nunn said he doesn't do scary movies.
Yeah, like we kind of both the same on that. Like, I do not watch any horror flicks.
Right.
Like I mean like horror, like demonic. Like, I don't do anything that has to do with the devil, Satan.
Yeah.
No. My aunt used to tell me, and what did it? I used to watch like Chucky and all of that as a kid. But my aunt told me this story about she was like, yeah, I was at home and I just finished watching this scary movie and I let demons in my house and one pulled me through the floor. Like, I was oh no.
Wait, who said that?
My aunt had told me that. I was young, man. But like, that was it. That's all I needed to hear. Like, nope, I don't even want to try it. So now, okay, I'm really picky. Like, I'm the most picky eater I think most people have ever met. Like, I don't eat ketchup, mustard, beans, like meat. I have a crazy list of food I don't eat. I don't eat seafood at all.
Okay.
That's something.
So you drive people crazy when you go out to eat.
Oh man, yeah. Like, there's always a running joke on me and what I eat at the studio at all times. I can't think of much else. Like, nothing too crazy.
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like the fact that, these kind of tidbits or these kind of, this type of information that some people might consider not relevant, that just humanizes people, that lets us know that people are real, that beyond the, media and beyond, popularity and fame, at the end of the day, hey, we have all these little quirks and we have all these things in common. I think it's important for us, especially in hip hop, to really bring it back down to earth, and to be able to relate to each other, because everybody's not going to live that lifestyle. When I say that lifestyle, you know what I'm talking about, so you know, just regular creative people who are passionate about what they do and want to empower others through their music, through their creativity. In your
Right.
immediate circle, you know, like in your family and friends and stuff, you know, like how do people, you know, respond to you now? The people around you, family, how do they, you know, have they changed? And I don't mean changed in the negative way, but you know, what's the response been like?
Um, everybody's really good. Like at first, like early on,
Mm-hmm.
people didn't really understand it. Like, I'm from a really small country town in
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina.
Right.
You go, and so we grew up like be a doctor, be a lawyer,
Right.
be a
Right.
typical, have a good profession.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of arts, and it wasn't where you knew somebody that was a successful actress or a musician. So when I first started doing music, like my mom and dad thought it was just a hobby at first,
Right.
and I really didn't talk about it much at all. So after I graduated, and she'd be like, "Get a job," and she would see
Right.
like, "Oh, you're not actively looking for a job. You seem a little bit too into music. Like, what are you doing?"
Right.
And that was probably a very stressful and trying time for me. Like, always getting phone calls about getting a job, getting a job. My sister is like, "Yo, what are you doing? Are you lazy?" And da da da. It's like
Mm.
you don't understand this world and what it takes and what you have to
Right.
sacrifice and how much work you have to do just to break through. Like,
Right.
to them it's like, "Oh, you got this song, I like it. Why isn't it on the radio?" Like,
Yeah. So,
my
yeah.
mom
Right.
would, call me like, "Yo, I'm gonna write a letter to Oprah and tell her to put you on the show." And I'm just like, "All right." Like, you love it, like, but it's like, "All right." And Nike always told me, like, it's gonna be hard, but for people around here, especially our parents, who don't really understand, it won't change for you until you get on TV
Mm-hmm.
or get in a magazine or they hear
Right.
you on the radio. Like,
Right.
until
Right.
then, what it's going to be. And sure enough, like the first time I made the Source magazine, it's like things started to change. Like,
Mm.
my mom was always supportive, but like
Right.
the job nagging ended. Like, where we are now, like it's really good. Like, everybody's proud, they're happy. You know, it's just really good and peaceful. There are some things like friends I grew up with, they'll hit me now. And I
Mm-hmm.
told Knife, like, it bothered me at first, but I get it. Like, people I've known all my life, like, "Hey, Rapsody, how you doing?" I'm like, "No, don't. You grew up with me. You know me as Marlena. Like, call me Marlena. It ain't like that. Like,
Right.
But you know, but he told me, he was like, "Yo," he was like, "Just accept it. Like, let people be proud, and let them acknowledge your new identity. Like,
Yeah.
they don't even know what to call you now, so don't take it as anything." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm just getting used to that. Like, but other than that, like, it's been really good. As far as the people in my circle, the
Mm-hmm.
people outside my circle, that's a different story.
Okay.
Like most cities, I think when you have somebody that breaks through and they have a buzz going, and especially in North Carolina, people feel like, "Oh, put North Carolina on, like,
Right. Right.
won't you sign me, or won't you send?" And it's like, no, you don't understand. Like, it's not about that. It's like Ninth State. Like, there are 100 counties in North Carolina. I can't put them all on my back and
Right.
carry you
Right.
all.
Right.
So that's probably the negative side. Like, everybody just wants a piece of what you got, and they want the easy way out, and they don't really want to work hard for it.
Yeah.
There's some that, I don't mind talking to anybody. Ninth was the one that stopped and gave me advice, so I try to pass it forward. Like, anybody that asks for advice, like, I'm always down to give it. But, you have those other ones, they just feel some kind of way, and I've seen the ugly side of that and what that
Mm-hmm.
can be about.
Yeah.
But, you take it all. Take it all.
Well, hopefully you'll be on Oprah soon enough. You know,
My mom would be very.
I know she will. We got we got to put the vibe out for that. You know what I mean? We got to get that going. We got to write petitions. We got to do all of that. So
I know. You get a Rapsody CD and you get a Rapsody CD.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's dope. Just a couple more questions. I know we got to wrap up. So who are your role models? I mean, hip hop, yeah, that's important too. But even outside of hip hop.
That's a great question. Like I have a really big love for the older generation, especially women. Like, outside of like my mom, of course, Felicia Rashad and Ruby D and like Cicely Tyson's like one of my favorite people ever in life. Nikki Giovanni, like, those are people that really, really had a big impact on me and, just how I should carry myself as a Black female.
Right.
Like, still to this day, like I still watch interviews and, anything I can learn from them, like I just use them as examples for how I want to be, in my career and how I want to carry myself and just the class that they had and what they stood for. Like, man, I can't even put that into words. So, really influenced me and were role models to me. In a big way.
Absolutely. You can't beat that class and that grace. It's just,
oh man. It's something else. Like, and the day I meet any one of them, like I'll be happy. Like I'm blessed to have. I did get to meet Harry Belafonte. Like,
word.
That's
okay.
one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Man, like.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. You know what? I met Harry Belafonte too, and we got to build about the state of hip hop. And it was so dope because we had like a good conversation about, just how to connect the older generation, and the leaders from the past with today's leaders. Man, it was a deep conversation. It's kind of like, okay, I'm good. I hung out with Harry Belafonte. I'm good now.
Right. See, I didn't have to have a conversation, but I did get to meet him, like, and Knife dropped some jewels that they shared when they conversed, which was great. But it's like when you walk in his office, you see all the awards, the Grammys, but that's not what gets you. Like, it's the humanitarian awards,
Absolutely.
And I'm like, oh, like that's crazy. Like, yeah, Harry Belafonte, man, is nuts, and I don't think people like really know like his history and how much he did, especially for civil rights movement and the artist at that time. Like, I think he was the main funder behind the movie Beat Street, right?
Mm-hmm,
He was the main backer behind that movie Beat Street, right?
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't know that history, like. So I hope him and Jay-Z get to talk, man. Like,
word,
that needs to. Yeah, like you hate how media twisted that up and made it into something it didn't have to be. But
they had fun with that, trying to divide and conquer. That's what that is. So
exactly. They don't want that meeting to take place.
Nah, because when you connect the heroes of the past, those who are still with us, thankfully, to today's decision makers, you got something that the industry ain't ready for. You got something that the system, forget the industry, just the system ain't ready for at all.
Right.
So, and that brings us back to what we were talking about earlier, the industry and why things are the way they are. So, and what's going to get us banned and if we go any further with this conversation.
Exactly.
So, but, okay, one last question. Really, really cliche question to end off with, but, your top 5 favorite MCs.
See, why you gotta do that? Like, why you gotta end it like that? We were having a great time.
Or your top 10 in no particular order.
Okay, Jesus. Okay, top 5. I'll do top 5.
Okay.
Today, like my list changed. It might change like one or two people.
Yeah.
But today, top MCs, Jay Electronica, I think, just right now, just going off lyricism, he's the greatest ever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you take influence, just straight MC, and to me, he's the greatest ever.
Yeah.
So Jay Electronica, Jay-Z, Mos Def.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, it's tough out here. It's tough.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that kind of pressure on you.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna get through it. Ain't got the 2 more. I got 2 more. Wow. Nas. Dang. And that last one, man. That last one. I'm gonna say Fonte.
Fonte. Word. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good top 5. That's a strong top 5. I like it.
Hey, man, it's got all the way right.
Right.
Give me yours, though. Since you did that to me, give me yours.
Oh.
Before you leave, give me your top.
No, it's only fair. And just like you, I'm like, oh, man. Why did you ask me? And things were going so well. I have different lists. I have like my golden age list. I have my today list, and my today list changes, based on my mood. I can tell you like my golden age list, is the classics, Rakim, Kane, Chuck,
right?
KRS, just, I love Master Ace, love Master Ace. Pharaoh Munch, which I guess, goes from my golden age to my still recent, I love Rapsody as an artist. I have to put her on my list.
Wow. Yes.
So, which absolutely, and I put you on my top 5 of the month list as well. I know you saw that, definitely.
I appreciate you.
Yes. And I love Ghostface. Yeah, big Ghostface fan. I like Cyrock.
That's
who's
my girl.
Jay Elect as well, definitely. So I mean, I guess a lot of the names that people would expect from, us hip hop purists and people who admire lyricists, so, but yeah, so I guess, I don't know if that's my top 5. That might be more than 5, huh? So.
Peace.
Right. Yeah. So, after we end this conversation, I'll probably be like, oh, I forgot to say this and that and this. So, it is what it is. So, final words, anything that you'd like to share, anything you want to tell the people, your fans, any words of inspiration that you want to leave us with?
Wow. Let me think. I would say, the power is always with the people.
Yeah.
We had to decide our lives, our identity, and everything that happens around us. So, know your power, support what you can, and, enjoy life. That's what it is for me. Like, know your power and your worth.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
That's powerful. That's a powerful message. Cool. Well, I really want to thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it. It's an honor to meet you face to face, even if it's, through video chat. Absolutely. And, I'll tell my kids about this interview because they listen, they're forced to listen to your album on the way to school every morning. And now, I was like, hey, today I'm going to talk to Rapsody. And they were like, go, Daddy. Good job.
That's dope. when I come out there, man, I gotta come out of the house and meet the family.
Yes. Absolutely. Please. We would love to. So again, thank you so much. Where can people get a hold of you? Twitter, Facebook, the whole nine.
Man, you know I'm always on Twitter.
Yeah.
So Twitter's your best place to get out. Like, it's on my phone. I could look at it right there. So Rapsody Music, Rapsody Music. Please, about the H. Rapsody Music, and website IamRapsody.com. So
Cool. Hip hop, you know what it is. Support hip hop. Support dope artists. Support Rapsody. You better get Beauty and the Beast. Rapsody, thank you so much. It's an honor.
Thank you.
And we'll build soon. Peace.
Peace out, brother.